How did that go for you today? Oh, there's one that's over the slot. Let's see what, there we go. Look at that, folks. That's a good fish. That's my fish. There it is. Oh, yeah. Jay Sapsel, Scott Dingwall. There's your champions, folks, right there. Let's hear it for him, Dryden.
Today's broadcast of the Dryden Walleye Masters is brought to you by Remmer Roofing, with offices in Kenora and Dryden, online at remmerroofing.com.
And good afternoon. Happy Father's Day from the Dryden Walleye Masters. I'm Mike Ebling, joined by Joe Barron for day number 2 of what is going to be a fantastic day.
It is going to be unbelievable. This fishery today, I believe, turned on like it's never turned on before. So get ready, hold your hats, because we're into a big ride here.
Dozens of teams in the running for $25,000 cash and prizes. However, there can only be one winner, and we will find out who that winner is here on Father's Day and the first day of summer. So a lot to celebrate here inside the Dryden Memorial Arena.
And if you're not at the Dryden Memorial Arena, you better get down here, because that boat show is going to be spectacular. You're going to see lots of fish. It doesn't cost anything to get here. There's refreshments here, and come on out and enjoy it with us.
And we're going to be here with you for the next 3 hours. The boat parade, which we all look forward to, starting at 5 o'clock. And everyone is in the running. As I mentioned, there's about 60 strong teams that still have a shot.
Yeah, there's. We were just going through the list here earlier, and when you look at the list, there's really only one team from last year's top 10 that's already in this year's top 10. So you can see a big changeover, and it's going to be pretty exciting. There's been a few big fish weighed in already, and we'll certainly get to that after. But if you're not down here, come on down. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And the only team that's in the top 5 or top 10 from last year is Mike and Al Peranto's. There you see the top 10 from day number 1 yesterday here at the Wabigoon Chain of Lakes. As the Finlayson and Holtz team, number 1, 18.32 pounds of fish. Smith and Below, who came in extremely early. They were done about 9:30 in the morning yesterday.
They weighed in about 9:30, and they didn't weigh in at 9:30 today, so they're not in yet. So we'll see what happens there. But that number 3 team's going to be interesting. Chris Oakes, that's a good team. So we'll see what happens. And they had 17.78 yesterday. And then the local team of Keith Keller and his son, 14.96. So, and that other team down there, Wintle and Wintle, 14.64. And Parks and Parks, another father-son team. It's going to be a really interesting afternoon. And I know John Guzzi and Rick Loeb, they're a Manitoba team. They're a pair of professional anglers at 14.41. And if they get the fish they got yesterday, they'll do well as well. So enjoy this.
So many teams in a hunt, and what you do not see is the, oh, there you go, right? They read my mind there. There's their big fish from yesterday, day number 1. Williams and Erickson coming in with a beauty, 10.41 pounder. That also caught early in the morning yesterday.
Yeah, there was another team, Riley Dizatel and his dad, Greg, came in earlier this morning, and they have already weighed in one fish at 8.98 and 7.48. And that has moved them, I believe, into the lead in today's. They still have 3 unders they can weigh in. So they may be the number 11th team sitting there pretty soon. And then we'll see what happens after that.
And there you see the big fish for today as of 2 o'clock. Again, the Dizatels with 2 nice fish. Like Joe mentioned, And still behind the top fish from yesterday. So far, Erickson and Williams looking good on that one. They also came in with another nice fish today at 8.5, as you can see there.
And Jared Chanowski and Jack Hawkins are a pair of anglers that you need to watch out, because they could come in with a big bag as well.
A couple of veterans, so there's some of the names that you want to look out for here at the Dryden Memorial Arena. One name that we always like to hear from is Janice Gumbison. She's with us right now.
Thanks, Mike. Once again, I'm by the water watching the anglers come in off the lake. Throughout the show, I'll be speaking with a few of them to see how their day went. Very early this morning, I was down at the docks for the first takeoff, and I spoke to a few of the fishermen about what their strategy is going into day 2 and what they're going to do to hopefully win the big money. That's coming up later on in the show. But first, let's take a look at some of the pictures that were submitted yesterday by our viewers through Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
And there you see some of the pictures, a nice fish there, and we encourage you to send us your photos, a young lad there on this Father's Day. And there's the information you want. You can go Twitter, hashtag HookedOnShaw. Also email your pictures, hookedonshaw at shaw.ca, whether it's on the water, inside here at the Memorial Arena, or just in the stands. We encourage you to celebrate this great weekend of fishing.
There's some nice looking. There's the two that the Dizitels brought in earlier this morning. That's Greg and his son Riley. And I'm hoping to have an interview with Riley when they come in. I'd like to hear how his day went. It should be an interesting conversation with that young angler.
Some more pictures being shown. That's today's big one. As we take a look inside here at the Memorial Arena. How about that?
Now there's a fish. We mentioned that there's going to be some big walleye brought in today, so that's a nice one. Let's see how it weighs.
That's an 8.4 8-pounder. Beautiful fish coming in. And more on the way. So 8.48, that puts that as the 4th largest fish caught here in 2 days of fishing. And we're just getting started.
Oh, exactly. They're just the first few boats crossing the stage here right now. So it's going to be, like I said, like we talked about yesterday, Mike, these fish are going to come in big, no doubt.
As we get our next angler up to weigh, understand another big one in there possibly. We'll let Al Peranto take us through this.
That gives him a 2-day total of
today too, doesn't he?
13.33.
Now, I guess a big one's still coming up. So
with 5 fish.
Latest team, and we're seeing a lot of people catching their limit to 5 fish.
Last year, not everybody weighed in 5 fish. This year, I think everybody has, and that's a real tribute to these anglers, and that's great, really good. They get their limit, and it's great.
Yeah, I think about 3 teams, a total of 3 teams yesterday did not catch their 5. Again, you're allowed 2 over the allowable limit, and then you're allowed 3 under.
Yeah,
and
18 is the mark that we use. You can have 2 over 18 and 3 under 18. And a lot of 24s, 25, 26 inchers, and then they go, they're definitely weight, though, that we go by. But, yeah, it's too bad that they didn't get 5, everybody, but they probably will today.
Yeah, lots of big fish here on.
I also mentioned too that this is an international falls team that's come in this year to fish the tournament. We've got 4 or 5 American teams that are here with us this year. So this is Walleye Masters is really spreading across all of Ontario, northwestern Ontario, Manitoba, but also down into the Minnesota area. So it's great to have those anglers up here.
Yeah, not only, like you mentioned, the American teams, but some teams with American anglers as well. So kind of having that international flavor to it.
It gives us an international flavor for sure. And I know Richie and Michelle Boggs personally, and they just love coming up here to Dryden. It's the best week of fishing they've had for a long time.
And we talked to Michelle yesterday as the Scarborough team coming up on stage. They were well back in the standings yesterday, middle of the pack.
I'm hoping Dougie did a little better today. This is a good team. Good young angler, up and coming angler, and his grandpa's teaching him a lot about fishing. A nice bag, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, the Scarborough team coming with 8.70 pounds of fish here on day number 2. Fairly decent day, but again, not up there with the leaders.
0.66 yesterday, 15.28 today.
Mr. Satchery.
12.18 pounds.
Nice.
12.18. That'll put them at roughly 25 pounds. They had 13
nice.
yesterday.
That's a good weight.
So that's, for the meantime, we'll put them close to the top. Again, the team of Greg Dizitel and Riley Dizitel, your day 2 leaders with 28.54 pounds, but very, very early.
Yeah, I think that's something that we should mention. The top 10 from yesterday, they will be in the boat parade later, so you're not going to see them cross the stage, and that's what makes this so exciting. They'll be held, their fish will be checked, their boats will be loaded, and they go to a staging area. That'll probably happen about 4:30, and they'll stay there. They're given water to drink, ice for the fish, keep things cool to keep those fish alive. And then they're brought in the boats and the trucks. The Ford trucks will be here, and they'll drive them into the arena, and that will be a big show. And I know people are going to enjoy that for sure, Mike.
Again, that'll be at 5 o'clock. Joe Barrett and myself here at the Dryden Memorial Arena for the Dryden Walleye Masters. Joe, well, you and I got to sleep in today. Actual people were working hard, and Janice was with the anglers early this morning.
There's lots of big fishing out there. Secret is where to find them. Now, of course, lots of guys didn't yesterday, so we're going to try today.
Well, it's our first time here. It's a big body of water, and there's a lot of fish. It's great, and everybody here is great.
It's frustrating at times, but you know what? The fishing's been getting great out here the last few years, and you can tell by the weights. So you never know when you're going to get that big fish.
Well, hopefully we'll get a couple good ones right off the start here and go from there.
Well, we're going to stick with our plan for the first half hour, and then if we have to start roaming around, we're going to start making the move.
Plan for today is to top number 1, which is our friend Alex.
Oh, it's an awesome lake. Big fish everywhere.
Well, hopefully we have a spot we're going to go do first for like 2 hours, and we're going to come back, hit the Wabagoon, because we know there's big fish in Wabagoon, and it's been a day just looking for big fish because we need it.
It's a wonderful lake. There's lots of fish. Everyone has a chance to go out there and catch a big fish on any day out here. It's just a great place to be.
It's a new experience. This is my dad and my first year fishing here. And it's a really cool body of water, you know, lots of different species of fish, lots of pike. We've caught a lot of big pike, and it's just fun, you know.
What my plan is today is to go catch some big Wabagoon walleye. That's the plan.
Well, it's my home lake, so it's good to come back and for Father's Day get to fish with my dad. And it's got absolute giants on it, like a 30-incher is any hook set. So it makes it fun when you're out there all day knowing that kind of fish is littered all through this lake.
As there you see our great Shaw team. Big thank you to all the folks at Shaw Cable for being here and allowing us to be with you for the 2 days. Those are the folks behind the scenes who make us look good.
They really make us look good. This is totally new to me, the first time I've ever done anything like that, but I'm sitting with a good professional here with Mike, so he makes my job a lot easier. And had a little story from last night that I'd heard. We talk about, people maybe bending the rules a little bit in some of these tournaments, and we watch that very carefully. But we had a team come in yesterday. They weighed in. They went back out in their boat. They were draining their live well, And lo and behold, they found another fish in there. So in actual fact, they had an extra fish that you're not supposed to have. They called up the tournament director, John, and told him that what happened. And it's very unfortunate, but their honesty was really appreciated. And I believe their weight from yesterday would be disqualified, of course, because they had that extra fish in there. But it's nice to see some really good, honest anglers out there. And they just felt that they couldn't, with good conscience, not address that issue. So.
Yeah, no, it's great to see that everybody is everybody wants to play by the rules here and make sure this is a fair event. As we saw some of those pictures, some great pics there from the National Aboriginal Day ceremony at Cooper Park. As, of course, this is National Aboriginal Day as well.
And hopefully we get some of the folks from Cooper Park coming down here and joining us today.
A couple of nice looking ones in there.
Here comes the Dingwalls, the youngest Dingwall anyhow. Let's see how they did today. They were second last year. They came second, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of bag they've brought in.
Yeah, Jeff and Blair Dingwall finished with 31.32 pounds of fish last year. Like you mentioned, good enough for second place today. Nice basket, 12.59 for the Dingwalls.
That'll move them up. That'll move 12 pounds. There's nothing wrong with that. Nice basket of fish.
As the Dingwalls usually always in the thick of things here at the Dryden Walleye Masters. Of course, this is their home lake, as we do have a new leader as of now, Tony Shirley and Marla Murphy, with a beautiful catch today, 18.10 pounds of fish. Good for 28.94.
Yeah, Tony and Marla are a Winnipeg team. Tony does the circuit, fishes a lot of tournaments around the area. Great angler. Marla's been with him for a number of years, fishing many of the tournaments with them. And they're a good team. They're a really good team. So we'll see how that plays out during the day.
It's kind of tough on the nerves when you weigh in so early and then you got to wait for the boat parade at 5.
Yeah.
You could technically be waiting for about 2.5 hours to see if your weight's going to hold up.
Yeah, they're going to be around. You're going to see a lot of the anglers around here early in the next little while. They'll be filling the arena in here behind us because they all want to see who wins this as well. And they know there's going to be some big fish coming in.
As we take a look outside, of course, every Walleye Masters, it seems to be we have a little bit of a storm that blows through, and it actually kind of disrupted our location outside, and we had to move inside this year.
Yeah, we're normally outside. Well, we were outside yesterday, but I understand before we got here, the Shaw staff was running after our tent that blew away. So we were lucky we got they got that, and now we're back inside where it's nice and dry. The weather's beautiful outside, though. It's sunny and warm. And come on down, join us, folks.
Yeah, I think our last time we saw our tent, it was going somewhere to Vermilion Bay area.
Yeah, Tommy said he was trying to grab it and hit him in the head.
Well, if it hits him in the head, there could be no damage there. That's a good thing. We want to thank Tommy Johnson, our producer, doing a great job as always here at the day number 2 Dryden Walleye Masters. As the team's coming in.
Yeah, you mentioned Shaw. Shaw's been with us for a while, so they do a terrific job. They're so professional. You just got to love it.
As the Cortons team coming up. Nice day, 10.72 for them today with 5 fish in the bucket. We're going to go back outside where Janice is waiting for us. Wherever they need you.
Thanks, guys. Well, I'm here with a face that everyone knows, Blair Dingwall. Blair, how was your day today?
It wasn't too bad. We both the same as yesterday. I think we were 12-8 yesterday, and we were 12-6 today. So pretty average, but we had fun. My dad and I on Father's Day, so that was a good time, and it always is.
I was going to say that. Did you catch any big ones, or were they all about the same size?
We had our biggest one was a 24-incher, so nothing. Nice fish for sure, but not like those 10-pounders that some people are bringing in.
Yeah. How was the weather out there? Did you guys get hit by a storm too?
Yeah, it was just brief. It was the wind picked up and the rain came down, but.
Now, does that make for better fishing or worse fishing?
It seemed to help us. Right before the storm, we caught our biggest one, and then right after the storm, we caught 3 other good slot fish. So that seemed to work in our favor today. So.
Okay, now is there anything you want to say to your dad today?
Just we have a lot of fun in this event, and it's nice that it falls on Father's Day, and it's nice to be able to spend the day with him in the boat.
Okay, well, thanks, Blair.
Thank you.
Keep watching, everyone. There's more Dryden Walleye Masters coming up after this break.
Remmer Roofing, Northwestern Ontario's only full-time professional local roofing company with offices in Kenora and Dryden, is a proud sponsor of the Dryden Walleye Masters. Online at remmerroofing.com.
QSL Tackle is a proud sponsor of the Dryden Walleye Masters and community programming. QSL Tackle at 102 Queen Street in Dryden and online at qsltackle.ca.
Best Western Plus Dryden Hotel and Conference Center would like to welcome all out-of-town anglers to the Dryden Walleye Masters. Best Western Plus Dryden Hotel and Conference Center is a proud sponsor of the Dryden Walleye Masters and community programming. Wood Lake Marine and Dingwall Ford carry the largest inventory of Alumacraft boats in Canada. With convenient locations in Kenora and Dryden, Wood Lake Marine and Dingwall Ford are proud sponsors of the Dryden Walleye Masters and community programming.
And welcome back to day number 2 of the 2015 Dryden Walleye Masters on beautiful Wabigoon chain of lakes, as the teams rolling in, getting their fish weighed here in downtown Dryden. Mike Ebling and Joe Barron with you here on this exciting day number 2. And earlier we heard from Blair Dingwall and his father Jeff. Of course, Sim and Jeff were involved. They had 25.41 pounds of fish over the 2 days. Right now, that puts them at 7th place, so another very respectable result for the Dingwalls.
Absolutely. The Dingwall teams are they're unbelievable. They go out there, they spend the time on the water, they do what they have to do, and they know this lake very well. They know this chain very well, and they know where those fish are. So they've done well, and they've done well over the years. They should be congratulated for sure.
Another Dingwall always in the mix. Scott Dingwall and Jay Samso are the defending champions, and they came in close to the top of the pack yesterday on day number 1. You heard Blair talk about the weather. It's going to have been a mixed bag here today. For the rookie angler, you're like, okay, what does the weather mean and fishing? How big is it?
Well, the weather has been consistent. We got that cold front move in there on Thursday, and that seemed to shut things down a little bit Thursday, Friday, but it didn't really bother anything yesterday as we saw the weights coming in, because that front then kind of settled and everything kind of settled into place. When a storm like it did today rolls in, it's a lot of cloud, a little bit of rain, a little bit of wind, but no thunder and lightning, and I think that makes a big difference. If you get some thunder and lightning, then you're going to have the fish take off of the spots they're on and go into deeper water, as anybody would. They just protect themselves from that heavy noise and get out. And then you wait a little while, sun comes out, weather warms up a little bit, and then away they go. They're back up again. They keep coming and going.
How about wind? How big of a factor is wind?
Wind on this lake is really important. You'll see if you're talking to some of these anglers later that when that wind is up, blowing on some of those humps out there on those rock points, these walleyes start moving in, because the bait fish then move in into that area, and the fish follow them up like any other thing and then grab onto the bait fish that are up there. And that wind forces the smaller bait fish up into the rock area or into the weeds or those types of areas.
Well, not that Wabigoon Lake is challenging enough. The weather always plays a factor here in this tournament. Speaking of the Wabigoon chain of lakes, one of the most pristine lakes in all of Canada, and we take an in-depth look at what an angler can expect on any given day.
In the heart of northwestern Ontario lies the city of Dryden. Situated on the shores of Wabigoon Lake, Dryden bills itself as a prime tourist destination, drawing visitors from across North America. The lakes and rivers surrounding the city make this a nearly unparalleled fishing hotspot. With its shallow, nutrient-rich waters, Wabigoon is famous for trophy-sized muskie, northern pike, and of course, walleye. The Wabigoon chain of lakes can be as frustrating as it is rewarding. While the system produces huge numbers of fish, the biggest ones can often be hard to find. Still, this tournament sees some of the biggest total weights of any walleye event in the area. Close to 250 anglers have descended on the city to search out the big walleyes in this 2-day catch and release tournament. And with only 2 days to fish, every minute counts, and there is little margin for error. And those anglers who can stay tuned in to what the fish are doing have the opportunity to bring in some huge totals in their quest for the top spot.
So many pockets, so many areas to explore, and talking to a few anglers yesterday, really they did explore all areas of the lake yesterday.
Yeah, there's 9 lakes connected to the system, so it's a big area, and that's what's important about pre-fishing. You get out there, you check those lakes, you check the different areas. They're all connected, of course, but you can find out where those fish are, and they do move, but because of the late spring, early spring we had this year, those fish are kind of settled down now out of the spawning areas and are back into the main lake system. So I think when we talk to some of these anglers later, we're going to find out that a lot of those big fish that have been caught this weekend have been caught on Wabigoon on the main lake system.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of insights where the anglers went on day number 1 because they don't want to give up their hand.
No, they're not going to tell us too much on day 1. They need it for day 2, so we'll see what happens here. And I'm still expecting another 10-pounder or 2 to come in here. There's a nice basket. Settle down. Let's get the weight. There we go.
Just under 10 pounds for that team there. As the weigh-ins continue, and a lot of first-year teams here this year, Joe, too.
Yeah, we've got a lot of new teams coming into town this time. That has a lot to do with the Central Walleye Trail that's going on as well. If you fish this tournament, I think there's 6 other tournaments that qualify for the Central Trail. Then you can use the points from this one. So we got a lot of new anglers from Manitoba and other ones from Northwestern Ontario come in here to fish this because this is one of the qualifying tournaments for the CWT.
Nice new element to the Dryden Walleye Masters this year, the introduction of the Central Walleye Trail. As you mentioned, 6 tournaments, 1 in Rafferty Reservoir, Saskatchewan, just down the road, Falcon Lake, Manitoba. Of course, here at the Dryden Walleye Masters, there's an event in late June. Actually, next weekend, it'll be at Lac de Bonnet in Manitoba. In September, that's how stretched out it is. It's the Red River Walleye Masters Cup in Selkirk, Manitoba. And in the St. George Voyageurs Walleye Classic in October in Pine Falls, Manitoba. So they really stretch it out May to October for that tour.
That St. George's tournament, I believe that's Thanksgiving weekend. That can be a cold, nasty tournament, I'll tell you. We used to fish that one, and honestly, you had to leave your live wells open the night before because in the morning, those live wells would be froze solid. You'd have no place to put the fish until you were able to thaw those wells out. So that wasn't fun.
I'm a wimp. I can't even go out in +20 weather, let
alone October weather. You have to have electric underwear for sure.
But part of the beauty of the Central Walleye Trail, and like I mentioned, a nice new element to
see Jay Samsel just coming in here now, so it's going to be interesting to see what they did today.
Your defending champions getting weighed in. Let's take a close look at Mr. Samsel.
They did. They're going to have a good bag. It's going to be good.
Is it ever?
15.53.
There you hear 15.53 for the Samsel team.
That's going to move them up. Oh, look at those. Wow. There's a 4 and a 5 pounder.
So a good day number 2 for the Samsel team.
I hope they weigh that big one. I'd like to see what it weighs.
And that puts them at 3rd place.
Pounds.
Their big one is
6.16 pounds. So a nice catch there, yeah.
I'll bet they wish they had had that weight yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Too little, too late for the Samso team, so we will know for sure that there will be a new champion here in 2015. The Samso team currently in 3rd place. But you can't argue a fat weight for day number 2. That's for sure.
No, 15 pounds. That's just a weight that, if, like I say, if they could have had it yesterday, they would have been a happy couple of guys, because that would have put them right up in top 10 for sure. And it would have been interesting today. And that's a lot of the time the problem when you're fishing this system. You got one good day, and then the second day it just happens or doesn't happen. In their case, it was reversed. I see Michelle Boggs from from the United States. Minnesota is coming up on stage right now. Michelle and Richie Boggs have come up to Canada for many years to fish our tournament. We'd love to have them. Great couple, great friendly people. Oh,
the same as yesterday.
She was asked if she had a big fish, and she, no.
Yeah, Al asking if they had a 17 pounds in there, and well, Michelle saying pretty much the same as yesterday, and hey, not too bad, 11.95 pounds. So look inside there, but a very respectable effort from the American team.
Thank you.
As we're inside here at the Dryden Memorial Arena, team slowly coming in here to weigh in.
I take a look behind us, Mike, and this arena is starting to fill up. So come on, folks, get down here.
Again, the boat parade starts at 5 o'clock. That's when all the fun happens. As we take a look outside, more teams rolling in.
Another past winner, Jason Rostick's coming up on stage, so it's going to be interesting to see Jason. Box looks a little light, but he's a big guy, so we'll see what they got.
Tommy says, watch out.
Uh-oh.
Looks like we got a big one here. Producer Tommy Johnson with Shaw Cable. You know, Jason's kind of tough. He always has he has a good poker face.
Oh,
Jason
yeah.
does.
18 pounds. Wow.
Wow. What a day number 2 for the Rostec team.
Whoa.
Beauties.
Look at those fish. Nice.
The 2013 Surrey champion doing very well here today.
That'll move them up there. I don't know how much it's going to move them up, though, but we'll find out.
8.02 pounds for the big fish. And a day number 2 total of 18 pounds. So good job for the Rostec team. As right now we're going to go back outside the Dryden Memorial Arena with Janice.
Well, I'm here with Jay Samso. Jay, how was your day today?
We had a better day today than yesterday. Yesterday we could not get a big bite, and this tournament on this lake now you need to get those 6 to 8 pound, and even there's 10 pounders out there to get them to bite to have a shot in this tournament. Today we had 2 6 pounders, had 15.5 pounds. But it's peanuts to what these guys are bringing in. This is incredible. Like, we just watched Rostec bring in over 18, and again, that's the 3rd bag over 18 today, and there was 2 yesterday. This lake is insane.
Well, how does that happen? How do they find them? Is it luck?
It's not luck, because it's consistently the same guys like Jason and Brad Smith. He had big weight last year too, and the fishermen are good. The lake's really good. When you combine the two, big things are going to happen. And last year we were fortunate to take this tournament down and had 2 solid days. But this year, my guess is that weight's going to be broken. I think the tournament record's going to be broken this weekend.
Well, I hope so. And maybe you'll be back next year?
At home, yeah. This is a fun tournament. We fish lots of bass tournaments, but this is our home lake, so we're always going to be back here. And you never know. We've had one poke at this, one win, so we're definitely hungry for another one.
Okay, thanks so much, Jay.
Thank you.
Let's go back inside to Joe and Mike.
Thank you very much, Janice. And although last year's champion won't be in the mix, previous champion definitely is in the mix. Jason Rostec and Philip Scribilo now First place, 31.43 pounds two-day total. Jay hit the nail on the head that you and I were talking to most anglers. I think records are going to be shattered here.
Oh, I think so too. We've talked about it all weekend. This is going to be a record tournament this year. There's such excellent fish, and the fishery is just unbelievable. And Rostick's team, they put the time out there, and they plug along, don't give up. And that's the key out here, moving around, looking around. And we just saw Riley Dizital move in with his weight. They had another, I think, 3 or 4 pounds to add to theirs. So those were just their slot fish, the under slots that they keep, the under 18s. And I think it was about 4 pounds, something like that.
Yeah, they had 2 nice ones earlier on today that they weighed in very early, the Dizital team, and they sat with 28.54 pounds of fish. So they could be very close to the Rostec team there for top spots. We'll have to wait for the updated standings as you take a look outside on the dock side as the teams coming in, organizers keeping them in the right spots. And speaking of outside, once again, we throw it to Janice.
Thanks, Mike. Well, I'm here with Jason Rostick. He just brought in a huge fish. I talked to you this morning. You said you were going to go find them, and you did.
Yeah, well, the wind was right for us today. So the spots that we had picked out, they didn't produce at first, but then once the wind picked up a little bit in the afternoon there, we caught them then. So
what time did you catch that big one?
Well, that was just before lunch, actually, I guess. So, yeah, it was around 11:30.
And did you catch another one after that? You had 2 big ones in your basket?
We caught the smaller one of the 2, and then about 15 minutes later, I hooked into the other one. So it was pretty quick.
Now, were you fishing in places where you knew there were going to be big ones? How does that work?
No, actually, the spot I caught them on, I've never caught a big over there before. Lots of solid fish, like 20s, 21-inch fish, but never anything that big on that spot. So the wind was just right on it, and it worked out well for us. So.
Well, congratulations. That was, I think, one of the biggest walleye I've seen. So.
Thanks.
Now, Jason, you have won this tournament in the past. Coming up next, we're going to take a look back at your big win.
Boat number 4, Jason Rostick and Philip Scrivillo. This is Jason Rostick, 2011 Walleye Masters champion. He has 8 top 10 finishes.
We were in second place leaving in the morning. The fishing was a lot slower the second day than the first. I mean, we didn't get a big over like the first day to put us up there, so we were a little bit nervous the second day.
What do you think, boys? Close. I think you're right. It's going to be real close. They need 12.06 to take the Meadows off the stage.
We just didn't think we had the weight until actually our turn up on the stage. We thought we'd probably maintain second or third place. We weren't sure we'd win, but we knew we'd be in the top 3.
You guys need 12.05. Looks like you got that and a little bit more. 13.08.
When our fish went on the scale, like right away we could tell that we had won. Like we didn't even have to do the math anymore. It was just, we could see it bounce higher than theirs right away. So yeah, we were pretty certain we had came in second at least. To win twice, it was just overwhelming for me, and Philip was pretty excited. Like he came on board with me the year before, and I think we came in 6th that year, and then to win it the second year he was in it, and that's the second time he's ever fished the tournament. So I mean, he was pretty excited.
No doubt excitement as the Rostick team, 2-time champions of this event, and they have fallen now to second place in the 2015 tournament as they've been unseated by Greg and Riley Dizital, who had a total 2-day weight of 32.76 pounds of fish.
That's a great weight, and Jason, they had a good tournament. There's no doubt about it. They were down in the standings a little bit yesterday, and like I say, it takes 2 days to win this tournament. And as boats come in and we weigh fish in, you're going to see that. It's going to change. It's going to change. I think that leaderboard will change drastically in a little while. And Jason was talking about the wind hitting his spot today, and that's what you're looking for, is that wind blowing up on there, and it really makes a big difference for that bait fish to move in, and those big walleyes move in right in behind them.
The LeBro team just weighing in. They finished with 11.45 pounds of fish today.
I see my son-in-law, Lonnie Lundmark, just weighed in as well. He only had 7 pounds, so that's not going to help their days. So
Terry Hamilton on the stage.
She looks happy.
I don't think I've seen Terry dance like that before.
Whoa, nice. 12.54. Let's see this fish. I think they're trying to get one out of there. There you go.
I think she caught it.
Oh, she's getting the thumbs up from the crowd.
That's what it's all about.
Oh, she looks happy. That's a good thing. That's what it's all about. Enjoying the days. We got to give a lot of credit to our young people that are working around here today too. The volunteers, I'll tell you, they keep this floor dried up. It's John Butts, his son, and those guys just do a terrific job making sure people don't slip on this floor. Curtis Varioki's the other one over here, wiping things up so we don't have any accidents.
And that's Hamilton fish. That big one came in at 5.85, so definitely a nice one there.
Nothing wrong, 5 pounds.
4.28 for day 2. Today 963.
So not everyone enjoying the big fish, just 4.28 catch there. And like you've mentioned, it's if you're not on your game, you're not on your game. You're just simply not going to be in contention.
It just doesn't happen. Yeah, exactly.
As we're inside here at the Dryden Memorial Arena, as you can see, starting to really get crowded in here. The big boat parade with the final 10 teams at 5 o'clock. And the Dizzetels right now in the lead. They've already weighed in 32.76 pounds of fish.
That's going to be interesting to see how that holds up as the other anglers come in. I know we've got the top 10 out there yet, but the top 10 have to catch them as well. And they have to duplicate. They have to do 2 good days. So, but definitely the Dizzetels have moved way up and got a great bag of fish.
You want to put it in comparison, last year's winning weight was 33.41. I'm guessing that's going to be beat this week.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be shattered. There's no doubt about that. It's just like this weekend has turned out probably to be one of the best this tournament has seen in a lot of years. Just making sure everything's all fixed here so we don't have people falling. The boats are lined up out there in the bay waiting to be called in.
Again, anticipation building up to see who will walk away with the $25,000 top prize. As you are watching the Dryden Walleye Masters, brought to you by Remmer Roofing.
Remmer Roofing, Northwestern Ontario's only full-time professional local roofing company with offices in Kenora and Dryden, is a proud sponsor of the Dryden Walleye Masters. Online at remmerroofing.com.
QSL Tackle is a proud sponsor of the Dryden Walleye Masters and community programming. QSL Tackle at 102 Queen Street in Dryden and online at qsltackle.ca.
Best Western Plus Dryden Hotel and Conference Center would like to welcome all out-of-town anglers to the Dryden Walleye Masters. Best Western Plus Dryden Hotel and Conference Center is a proud sponsor of the Dryden Walleye Masters and community programming. Woodlake Marine and Dingwall Ford carry the largest inventory of Alumacraft boats in Canada. With convenient locations in Kenora and Dryden, Woodlake Marine and Dingwall Ford are proud sponsors of the Dryden Walleye Masters and community programming.
There's
everyone getting involved. I don't know if that'd be such a great fishing partner, but definitely a good best friend to have on the lake.
What if that's the third angler in that boat? We better check that out.
I don't know. That was part of the rules. Everyone coming down to the Dryden Memorial Arena area, and there you see some of the young fans, kids of all ages here watching, and inside as well. As a big fish come in, again, we can't do this broadcast without our hardworking Shaw crew. A big thank you to them. And we encourage you to send us your photos. Twitter, hashtag HookedOnShaw. You can email us, hookedonshaw@shaw.ca. And again, those two big ones caught by the Rostec team, who currently sit in second place right now.
That's Lauren Butts going up on stage right now. Going to be interesting to see what her bag of fish are.
We heard from her yesterday.
Yeah, 10.39. That's all right, Lauren. She got to fish with her dad, John, today. Lauren's going away to university in the fall, so it's a good event for them to finish the year off together.
So 10.39 pounds for the Butts team. Won't be in the mix, but pretty good 2 days of fishing for that squad.
Normans are going up. Let's see how they make out.
The Norman squad, Troy and Richard, we get their weight, 12.92.
Yeah,
so
Troy's a good angler. He's been around for a lot of years, and he's got a nice fish there.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Pretty nice one. We'll get the total weight of that one.
Not going to weigh it in.
They're going to do it, but no. That's pretty good size there for the Norman team.
It's such a rush when you get that big fish on there. You know it's big, you know it's a walleye, because walleye act differently than jackfish act when you're catching them, and that head pounding down, it's a real thrill. There's no doubt about it. You know you got a big one.
And that's something we heard in the feature about the Wabigoon chain of lakes. Of course, everyone talks about the walleye that's in this beautiful body of water, but there's so many other types.
Other species, there's a lot of different species. Muskie, there's some of the biggest muskies around. Someday I think the top muskie will be caught in this lake. The pike, there's lots of pike out there for the folks that like to go out and catch pike. Perch fishing is good. Something new that's come into this lake in the last probably 10-15 years are crappie, and they've taken off. Now they're not a species originally natural to this lake. It's interesting how they may have got here, but they're here now, and people are going out there catching them, and they're delicious eating fish. There's no doubt about that. They taste good.
Yeah, something it is. It's fairly new. I didn't know pretty much anything about them. Maybe talk about that species of fish.
Well, crappie are what they call a panfish, but if you get one 12 to 14 inches, you got a big crappie. They call them slabs, big slabs, and those crappie are big in this lake. And the guys use light tackle and have a lot of fun catching them. So they enjoy them, and they're delicious to eat. And get out there and get some of them out of this lake.
As the weigh-ins continue inside, but right now we're going to throw it outside to Janice Gummison with the Second Chance Pet Network.
Yeah, good. A little bit. 9.13. 9.13.
Well, thanks, guys. Well, I'm back outside, and this is Nevada and Idaho, and Bev Whitaker is back with me from the Second Chance Pet Rescue. Now, these are two new puppies that we want to tell the community about.
Okay, they're two little girls, as you can see. They are sisters. That's why they're scrapping. That's what sisters do best. They are about a little more than 3 months old. They've been being fostered for about the last 2 weeks. They spent a good part of their early years or weeks in the shelter after they got away from their mom. They come from the north, from one of the reserves up north, and they are husky, shepherd, obviously border collie in some of them. This one looks like a bit of terrier in her. They
just plain cute.
Yeah, and really, really good dogs. It's like they know they have been given a chance for a good life. Right. And they're very, very sweet dogs. Very quick to learn, very anxious to please. They're exuberant. They love to play with other puppies. They've been socialized with cats. These two are living in a foster home that has a lot of cats and 2 older dogs, so they're getting a lot of real good socializing experience.
So if you have other pets, these puppies would be fine with that.
Yes.
Now, if someone was watching this and they wanted to adopt Nevada or Idaho, where do they contact?
Second Chance Pet Network has a website. You can go online if you want to Google that, or else you can go and talk to Anne at FFF Pet Supply on King Street in Dryden. There are also people at the shelter that can give you the information. It's $175 adoption fee. That reimburses us for their vet visits. They're spaying. They're up to date with their shots. They have microchips already inserted, so if they get lost, they can be identified. So it reimburses us for the vet care and their shots and the care that they've had, and pays a portion of the spaying or neutering. Okay. We require that they be spayed or neutered.
That's good.
When they're old enough.
Well, Bev, thank you so much for bringing them both down here. And everyone watching, if you've been waiting to find a great puppy, go to the Second Chance Pet Network and give Nevada and Idaho a great home. Let's go back inside to our hosts.
All right, thank you very much, Janice. 2 little cuties there.
Yeah, we got the puppies back with us today. That's good. That's good for the Pet Network. Get a little free advertisement there. We just had Mike, the general manager from the Best Western, weigh in. Give them a credit. That's the Best Western is the official hotel of the Dryden Walleye Masters. So they do a great job for us over there. And it's Mike's just a great guy to work with.
Yeah, we want to thank Mike, and we want to thank all of our sponsors: Dingwall Ford, of course, Bremer Roofing, the Dryden Best Western, like you mentioned, Dryden GM, and Dryden Discount Carpet for allowing Joe and I to be with you here.
Absolutely.
Yesterday and today, and we will be with you till about 6 o'clock here today. As of course, don't forget that boat parade starting at 5 o'clock, and that's when the fun happens.
But maybe hopefully get a shot of the crowd here, because it is filling up quickly, and I got to get a hold of Bremer Roofing. I think I need a new roof on my garage, so I'll be calling them next week to get a quote. That's for sure.
You're in the know. As you can see that crowd, it is starting to fill up. Great to see. It's always electric in here when 5 o'clock hits, and the crowd cheers on the anglers who are going after that big top prize, one of the top prizes in the fishing circuits world. $25,000 cash and prizes, of course, with the brand new Evinrude boat as well.
Yeah, that 165 Alumacraft sitting right there, the picture of right now with that Mercury motor on it. That's first prize. That's part of the first prize package as well, and it's a great prize package. There's no doubt about it. And they're paying up to 30th place again this year, so the top 30 teams are going to get something out of this. So that's pretty impressive.
And that's all you really want to do, is get into that top 30. About 10 minutes ago, Joe was talking about the different species of fish, and we're going to take another close look at exactly what's in the Wabigoon chain of lakes.
You can literally fish for walleye anywhere from 6 inches of water to 100 feet of water.
There's 5. Nice looking fish, guys. Well done.
Lots of days the fish are just on, and they're easy to catch.
Very nice fish, guys. Very, very good Wabigoon Lake walleye.
You can throw jigs, pull spinners, pull crankbaits, slow death, slip bobbers. I mean, there's just live bait rigging. There's so many ways to fish for them.
Oh, there's a nice fish.
Very finicky. They don't necessarily want to bite what you have out there, and you're trying to find what they do want.
And there's 5. Nice looking fish, guys.
It's a big challenge to fish for walleyes more than any other species there is.
Certain days are better than others, and and every fisherman kind of knows that.
With its trademark bulging marble-like eyes, it's a fish that can challenge the best of anglers. So let's dive in and examine this ever-popular sport and tournament fish, the walleye. Found in a variety of lakes and rivers, walleye can be located in huge bodies of water like the Great Lakes to smaller, more shallow lakes similar to Wabigoon.
A lot of times it's good to try to figure out what's happening within the lake more than the spots, because you can go in and say, hey, I got a spot 2 days for the tournament, and you're all over it and you're all excited, you go there during a tournament. Like I said, the wind has switched, it changes everything, and the biggest mistake people will make is stay in that spot hoping, but they're not there, you just move on and fish the conditions at hand. That's the best thing you can do. The coloration of the water creates a different type of system. If you go to a lake that's Clear Lake in the woods, Red Lake, the fish they're deeper, they're kind of more consistent on those spots. You can target them better, but Wabigoon, they just move so much shallow that it's hard to really consistently get those big fish.
Generally found near weed beds, rocky points, hard bottoms, and reefs, finding the right location can be a challenge, especially for those looking to land the elusive monster.
I mean, if you got a typical lake like Wabigoon, you have a typical system with 11 different lakes, you can catch fish in the weeds. This time of year, it's an early spring, the water's warming up, the reefs are going to be good. Back bay, shallow stuff, they can be almost anywhere. So it all depends basically on the type of system that you're fishing to decide what type of structure you're going to fish.
Early season, lots of times it's in the shallows and some rocky shoreline, like gravelly banks and stuff like that. Lots in the weeds, but usually on Wabigoon, they're in a 4-foot range. Towards the middle of the season, they tend to head out to the humps and the reefs, and that's pretty much where you can find them in the summertime.
Finally, the stat that matters most, size. While the average size of this species weighs in at 1.5 to 3 pounds, a large walleye can tip the scales at well over 10 pounds.
Let's see what it is. There it is! Oh yeah! That's a good fish.
What I try to keep is quality, an area that has quality fish, maybe 22, 23-inch fish. Then, with any luck, you can pop a 27, a 28, or 29, because those fish just don't jump in a boat every day. So those are more, there's a little bit of a luck factor, but you also need to be kind of in the right area that's holding bigger fish.
It's just you never know what you're going to get out there. You can get on a school of 16, 17-inch fish, and then you can just move off a little bit, and you can get on a school of like 24 to 30-inch fish.
Wabigoon is a place that is targeted for nice big fish, so if you want to come for a trophy walleye, it is actually one of the top places in Northern Ontario to catch a true trophy over 30 inches.
Look at the great fish population here at Wabigoon chain of lakes as we take you back outside the Dryden Memorial Arena here at the 2015 Dryden Walleye Masters as the boats patiently waiting. And right now, patiently waiting at the top of the standings continues to be Greg and Riley Desatel. They are in first place with 32.76 pounds. So they came in very early of two very nice catches, and it seemed to really boost their effort today.
Oh yeah, they did well, excuse me. And you're probably going to see Greg and Riley up on stage in the chairs up there as the number 11 team, and see who can knock them off of that herd. So it's going to be an interesting show when we get into the boat parade.
Yeah, sorry.
No, sorry. I was just going to say I'm hoping to get Riley when he gets here to come over. We'll do a little talk with him, because it'd be interesting to see how he made out fishing with his dad today and those two big fish. Really like to hear how he enjoyed the day. So.
Yeah, they had two beauties, like we mentioned, an 8.98 pounder as well as a 7.48. So that really propelled them to the top. Eric Williams and Peter Erickson, who caught a 10-pounder yesterday, very, very early yesterday, continue to have the top fish. They currently sit in the standings at 8th place. Let's go down the top 10. Number 1, as I mentioned, was the Desatel team. Number 2, Jason Rostek and Philip Scribilo. Number 3, Jack Hawkins and Jared Turnowski. You mentioned that name earlier on, Jared Janowski, he's up there in the hunt once again.
Yeah, Jared's a great angler and a local boy. He's done well, there's no doubt about it. So we'll see what happens today.
Number 4 is Tony Shirley and Marla Murphy. Number 5, Scott Dingwa and Jay Samso, last year's champions, so they will not repeat. The father-son team of Darren Kennedy and Jeremy Kennedy, number 6. As I mentioned, Williams and Erickson, number 7. Kurt West from Kenora, him and his partner Travis Turand are in 8th. Kurt West is actually a former coach of the junior A hockey team here in Dryden, so trading in his hockey talents for his angling talents. They're 8th, Brad Weberg and Kevin Zachary. Good to see them. They're at the top. They're 9th. And number 10 is a team of Jeff and Blair Dingwall. So, again, a lot of those familiar names back at the top.
Yeah, they're sitting there right now.
But will they be there at the very end? That remains to be seen. And again, the top 10 boats from yesterday will come in later on today. There you see that nice catch, caught by Terry Hamilton from Red Lake, former Dryden resident. And she made it perfectly clear that she was the one who caught it.
She made it known to everybody.
It's been actually a beautiful weekend here in the Dryden area. For the most part, the rain staying away. Great to see families out as we look at the social media aspects. And again, send us your pictures. We want to see what you're doing here this Father's Day weekend. You can Twitter, hashtag HookedOnShaw, email us, hookedonshaw@shaw.ca. And we will get you up, and of all the pictures that we do get, we're going to put your name in a draw for a beautiful kids fishing rod here that we will be giving away. We'll give you a peek at that later on, but again, a little extra incentive for you to send us your photos as, again, we will be giving away a kids fishing rod, and that's another beautiful aspect of this weekend is the kids getting involved.
Yeah, we had the Kids Cops Canadian Tire tournament yesterday, and we're going to have them, the winners of that, coming up on stage shortly. So they'll be in the boat parade in the boats with the top 10. That's always exciting. That's always exciting because they get to see the parents and all that. So we'll see what happens. We got some more teams coming up here right away. Just want to talk about some of the volunteers. We keep looking around the arena here, and we see volunteers all over the place wearing their Dryden Walleye Masters white shirts and that, and they always do a great job here with this event. You can't do it without the volunteers, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's the big part of everything is all these events are so pretty much primarily independent on volunteerism, and the Butts team had a great crew involved this year, and you know as much as anyone how much work and time and effort has to go in to make this a successful event, as you were chair of this event for 2 years.
Yeah, thanks, Mike, and you're absolutely right. There's a lot of work that does go into this event, and to believe it or not, the work has already started for next year. There's so many things that need to go on and things that need to happen, and they've started already. The committee's already working on different aspects of it. Sponsors are a big thing for this event, and it's very important, or you're not going to run a well-run tournament. You need the sponsors.
And we want to also thank our Shaw sponsors for allowing us to be with you here this weekend, including Dryden Discount Carpets, Dryden GM, Best Western here in Dryden, Remmer Roofing, and Dingwall Ford. Big special thanks to all of them for their support. As another team coming in. This is team number 78. We'll weigh in with them and take a bit of a break here as we are at the Dryden Walleye Masters day number 2 as we get the weigh-in for this team, and an 8.71 day, so again not close enough to being at the top of the leaderboard. But Desertels, they're top of the mountain right now. Will it last? We will find out. You are watching the Dryden Walleye Masters on Shaw, brought to you by Remmer Roofing.
Discount Carpet offers flooring solutions for every kind of home or business with carpeting, hardwood, and more. Dryden Discount Carpet is a proud sponsor of the Dryden Walleye Masters and community programming.
Wood Lake Marine and Dingwall Ford carry the largest inventory of Alumacraft boats in Canada. With convenient locations in Kenora and Dryden, Wood Lake Marine and Dingwall Ford are proud sponsors of the Dryden Walleye Masters and community programming. With a wide variety of Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC vehicles and 12 service bays to keep you on the road, Dryden GM is a proud sponsor of the Dryden Walleye Masters and community programming. Online at drydengm.ca. Best Western Plus Dryden Hotel and Conference Center would like to welcome all out-of-town anglers to the Dryden Walleye Masters. Best Western Plus Dryden Hotel and Conference Center is a proud sponsor of the Dryden Walleye Masters and community programming.
It is starting to fill up here inside the Dryden Memorial Arena as everybody anxious to see who will be crowned this year's champion. It is 4:05, so an hour until that boat parade starts. And then again, that's when all the excitement really happens.
That's what it's all about. We get the champions coming in here, and that's what's going to happen. We're going to have an interesting boat parade. The music's going to rock, and we're going to see some big fish. There's no doubt.
Yeah, the top 10 teams from yesterday still have yet to weigh in today. They will be part of the boat parade. And right now, the Disney House will be possibly sitting on the stage as the team to beat heading into that boat parade. But there's still quite a few boats still to come and weigh in as they are slowly starting to trickle in. Haven't seen some big weights in a while now.
It's slowed down a little bit with the big ones, but a lot of new anglers here this year. Well, that was Stan that just weighed his in. He's a professional angler out of Fort Francis. He runs a Kingfisher boat, and he's a good angler.
Tough day, however, today, 6.94 pounds of fish. And up comes another one of those new anglers that you were talking about just a second ago. And it's so tough on this body of water when it is your first time, Joe.
Yeah, it is. It's a huge body of water, and you get to know it a little bit, and come back next year and fish it again, because the spots you fish this year will probably hold fish again. And if you got some big fish going, you really want to be able to get out there and do a little bit of pre-fishing next year, and then do some big weight.
As the Winnipeg-based team, who I mentioned is new, coming in with about 6 pounds of fish. So a team starting to come in a bit, and Joe, again, emphasize the fact if you are a new team, what kind of timelines are we looking at to pre-fish? How early should you be out trying to figure out this lake?
Well, and that's a good question, Mike, because what happens is the anglers aren't considered to be professional anglers where that's all they do. These anglers are involved in other jobs and that, so it makes it very difficult. So they're taking holidays to come here. They're spending a lot of money, but if they can get in here and pre-fish for about 3 days, then that'll make a big difference. 3 days of pre-fishing should help them get to know the lake, get to know where the hazards are, and that should give them a good shot. But there's teams that have come in here. I know there was one team in here from Manitoba. She had, I think it was about 13 pounds yesterday. So, and she only pre-fished the 1 day. So she did very well with her partner.
I know better than me. All I can catch on this lake is a cold.
Well, that and a few other kinds of species.
Oh boy, we mentioned earlier about the kids and Cops Fishing Tournament is a great part of this weekend, and Janice has an in-depth look at that.
Thanks, guys. Every year, the Kids Cops and Canadian Tire Tournament takes place on the Saturday of the tournament, and it's just an opportunity to get kids hooked on fishing at a young age. I was there yesterday, and here's a look at what happened.
Got my second walleye!
Well, today we have the Kids Cops and Canadian Tire Fishing Days. We've been doing this for a number of years, and every year it's been a great success. Well, the kids have to be between the ages of 7 and 13, and how it works is they just sign up and everything is free. The prizes that are donated from Canadian Tire are free. The lunch that's provided by Safeways is free, and they just come out and have a great time fishing. It's a all-species tournament, so we have already pike caught, walleye caught. I know there's perch swimming around down there, crappies, all sorts of species, but we're taking the overall biggest fish today. I started out young fishing myself, and I love fishing, so I think it's good to instill that hobby within kids at an early age. Canadian Tire has really come through for us this year. We have 2 tablets, we have high-end speakers, earbud speakers. We have scooters, skateboards, all sorts of good things, great things.
This is an excellent tournament for the kids to have the opportunity to get introduced to fishing and enjoy the sport. And there's quite a few of us that have fathers and siblings that are involved in the Walleye Masters, so it's their way that they can participate and still enjoy the excitement of getting out and fishing.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, look at the turnout. There's lots of kids and the adults, grandparents, everybody's out here enjoying the day.
I like it when you catch big fish because I feel happy to myself. That you can catch big fish. I like it when they get bites. Every time you get one, it's a big, hard fight.
I like just catching the fish and playing with them while they're trying to run away.
I like catching the fish too and just having fun with my friends.
What I love about this tournament is just seeing all the kids' smiling faces. That really makes my day, seeing all the kids have such a great time out here.
Beautiful look at the Babasimi Canadian Tire Kids and Cops Tournament, and we're joined by Kevin Hildebrand right now, one of the organizers, and just looking at that feature, it must be so fulfilling to see those kids' reactions.
It really is. I just can't stress enough. I mean, I just like seeing the kids smile, have a great time, and that's really the whole purpose behind doing this.
It's such a big event, and it continues just to gain in popularity.
It does. This was our best year so far. We had 60 participants, and everybody showed up. It was great.
And Canadian Tire always on board with some great prizes.
Yeah, they really came through like they always do, and we just had some phenomenal prizes, and I just can't say that enough. It was just fantastic.
Maybe some of the kids that were big winners this year.
Yeah. The big fish overall was caught by Nathan Hustle. He caught a 8.5-pound pike.
Nice.
But by the time I rang the siren, and by the time I got on the dock, there's already 10 fish caught in 10 minutes.
Wow.
It was amazing. Overall, there was 24 fish caught.
And part of the great thing, Joe, is these kids get to take part in the actual events.
Yeah.
Yes.
We started that, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago when we started the boat parade, and I was chairing the committee at the time. I said, let's get those kids in those boats and let them come in, because they're champions as well, and it's a great event. You guys do a fantastic job down there. You have the Dryden Police Services,
the OPP, and Treaty 3 were down there today.
Treaty 3 as well. And you guys do a great, and ladies do a great job, the officers, and you put on a good event. The kids should be proud and should, like you say, Canadian Tire stepping up with those prizes.
They did.
Yeah, for sure.
Aaron Hucko, the other big organizer. How important is it both not only to get kids involved in fishing, but getting them to realize, hey, the police aren't just the lay down the law.
That's right. It puts a positive spin on what we're doing here, right? It forms a good bond and positive relationships with kids at a young age.
All right. Kevin, thank you very much again, and congratulations on another successful event.
Thanks, Mike and Joe.
We'll see the kids in the boats, Kevin.
Okay. Great, thanks.
Thank you.
You bet. The boat parade starts at 5 o'clock. And who's going to be at the top, we shall see. As we are day number 2, there is up-to-date standings as the Hawkins-Ternowski team finishing their way in just a few moments ago. Unofficially the third-ranked team at 29.12. But the Desitels, who weighed in pretty much right after the 3 o'clock deadline, they continue to hang on to number 1. The defenders, Dingwall, Samso. Joe, really not a lot of huge surprises on that top 10 list right now.
No. I mean, you go down that list, Shirley and Murphy, you look at all of them. Kennedy's, these are all great anglers. They put in their time. Kurt West, those guys, they know what they're doing out there, and they have a lot of fun. And I'm glad to see the weights that came in with these groups.
Yeah, we've seen some big names, or big weights so far. And again, the top 10 teams from yesterday still have yet to come in as...
Well, the top 10 have loaded their boats and are sitting outside the arena someplace, probably relaxing, biting a few of the nails, getting a little nervous because they, unless somebody's running out telling them what's going on in here, they may not know the Desitels weight. And if they do know it, they may be getting a little nervous. So
what do we have?
What do we have? I guarantee you they probably have a pretty good idea what weight they have, but it'll be interesting to see what they're doing out there.
Sometimes you don't, and we saw that feature from Rostec earlier on that when they came up here, they had no clue if they were even going to be there. He said they thought they'd be second or third.
Yep.
So
Jason didn't weigh his fish very good that day then. We got to blame him for something. He's more than a one-time winner here, so Jason's a great angler.
Yeah, he's a 2-time champion here.
Yeah,
As you see inside, friend. It's really starting to fill up here. We encourage you to come down to the Dryden Memorial Arena. Glad we have you here on Shaw, and Mike Ebling and Joe Barron back for day number 2 here. And again, the team's still coming in. And the Desitels, do you think that weight's going to be enough? Top 5.
It's going to be close. I'm looking at the anglers that are still out there that were in the top 10 from yesterday. There's some pretty big weights there. So I would suspect top 10 for sure. Top 5, it's going to be hard to say. That's a tough call. That's a really tough call, but it's going to be fun to find out.
Boy, you're just not going to give you a definite. You should be a politician. I like that answer.
I don't want to be a politician, but no, it's going to be interesting.
We're going to throw it right back to Janice Gummison. We talked about Apollo. Kind of get a tough to get an interview with a dog, but we got Janice outside again with Apollo.
Well, this is Apollo. He came back to the walleye tournament to come and meet us again to try and find someone to adopt him. I'm here with Bev Whitaker from the Second Chance Pet Network. Tell us a little bit again about Apollo.
He's about 3.5 months old. He's a fine little fellow. Sit, babe. He's been fostered with us for a couple of weeks now, and he lives with 2 older corgis who don't really like him very much. They don't like puppies because they're too exuberant, and they're old. They're 12 and 13, and so he likes to get together with other puppies. And I try to have 2 puppies at a time, but his foster sister got adopted yesterday, so he's a little lonely, and he really wants a home.
He needs a home.
He's very polite. He's learned lots of good manners, and he's a little timid. He had a rough start in life, but he's working real hard to get his act together.
And he's just super cute. So if someone wanted to adopt a Paula, what do they have to do?
Go and see Anne at Second Chance Pet Network. We also allow fostering. Like if you're not sure you want to adopt, you can foster to adopt. Foster for a week and see if he fits in with your family, and then you can adopt after, or you can return him. When you're fostering a dog, we pay for the food and provide the leash and everything, and all you provide is the love and the discipline.
Okay, well, another thing we want to talk about quickly, Bev, is you've got a really unique fundraiser that you're doing to raise money for the Second Chance Pet Network.
Well, it's pretty unique. We're the only depot between Toronto and Winnipeg, I believe, of collecting Tassimo discs. Only the discs from Tassimo, not the Keurigs. They're a different material, but we collect them and we send them back to TerraCycle, and TerraCycle turns them into useful objects.
And in return, you get the money for them.
And we get money that we can donate to a charity of our choice, and our charity of choice, of course, is Second Chance Pet Network.
Okay, now if somebody has some Tassimo cups at home that they're just dying to get rid of, what do they have to do?
It would be nice if you could drain them a little bit before you put them in a bag and save them. You can either bring them down to Triple F Pet Supply again, or maybe the shelter. We have to start working on shelter because Triple F's going to close soon, or Dingwall Clinic, or there are people in Kenora and Sioux Lookout who are collecting for us as well. So.
Great.
Ask around.
Okay, well, Bev, thank you so much again for meeting us and bringing the puppies.
Yes,
hopefully we can find them a good home.
Thank you for giving us the exposure.
Let's go back inside to our hosts.
All right, thank you very much, Janice and Bev. I just want to step back again. We're doing the top 10. I mentioned about Kurt West and Travis Turon, who are in the top 10. There's actually two West in this tournament, and this was the Dryden version, sorry. So, of course, Kurt West and Travis Turon from the Dryden area, not who I was thinking of. So I just wanted to make that quick correction. But Joe, special guest.
Yeah, we've got Riley Disdell up here. Riley and his dad are in first place right now. They're sitting in first place with total weight. What is their weight again, Mike?
We've got, let's get on the old cell, 32.76 so far.
32. How do you think that's going to hold up, Riley?
I think it should be good, but last year's was 33, so
right.
I don't know.
What position were you in last year?
Pardon?
What position were you in last year?
At the end, we came 9th.
You came 9th. Okay. So as it stands right now, you and your dad are going to be sitting up on stage, right? And then you're going to have to get knocked off. That should be kind of fun, eh? Hopefully you won't be knocked off.
Not, yeah.
So how was your day of fishing out there?
It was really good.
Yeah?
Really good. Lots of big fish.
Lots of big ones.
Yeah.
Where'd you get them? You going to tell us?
No.
You're not going to tell us. I don't blame
I told you we wouldn't get it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You had two big ones today. Maybe talk about those two.
One was 31 inches and the other was 29. I got 29.
Did you?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. And there you go. There's our two beauties. And fishing with your dad on Father's Day, how was that?
It was good. Hopefully we can win for Father's Day.
Yeah. Well, Riley's a good angler. We were with Riley camping, I think it was down in Melgan.
Yeah.
And he spent a lot of time on the water out there, so he's a dedicated angler. And his dad is a terrific angler too, so he's got good stock. He's going to be around for a while. So just wish you luck, Riley. Hopefully you do well, and we'll see you on stage.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Riley. Great day of fishing. A young man, Riley Disdell, him and his dad, first place. As they continue to weigh in, the weights have kind of gone down just a bit.
Yeah, I just missed Michelle Trudeau. She had a nice, she had a good fish there, but I missed the size of it. So we'll find out later. This is Michelle's first time fishing here. She's one of the Alumacraft directors and one of the directors for the Central Walleye Trail. We interviewed her yesterday, and fantastic lady. She's a great angler as well. Her and Andrew Klopek are married, and they fish together and run a couple big companies.
And we want to thank all of our sponsors here for the Shaw coverage, including Dingwall Ford, Dryden Discount Carpets, Remmer Roofing, Dryden GM, and the Best Western here in Dryden. A big thank you to Mike and his great staff there at the Best Western, as Mike was in the tournament this weekend.
Best wings in town at the Best Western Bar and Grill.
As the last team to come up, 5.39 pounds, so not close to the top. As we're getting down to the nitty-gritty for teams coming in before our boat parade at 5 o'clock.
The list must be getting down out there a little bit. I haven't seen a lot. They're not coming in too fast, so maybe we're getting near the end here of the numbers.
Another tough one, 5.44 in total weights. As we get a couple of more teams coming in. And one team that came in earlier was the team of Jay Samso, Scott Dingwall, who are right now in the top 10. They won't repeat as champions, but they know what it's like to taste that winning feeling. And we look back at their victory and what we can expect here in a few minutes' time.
This is Jay and Scott in boat number 9, day number 1. They weighed 15.90 pounds.
16 pounds in this lake is usually a pretty good weight. Come in, we're in 8th place after day 1. The weights are huge, the lake's kicking out, tons of big fish. That's one of the better weights I've ever caught in this tournament. And when you're sitting in 8th place after that, it kind of discourages you a little bit. We felt good about day 2 to go out and duplicate what we did on day 1. And we felt if we caught 16 pounds again, we'd give ourselves a chance to win. And that was the goal going out in day 2.
Let's see what they got in the well.
We were really confident, you know. We knew we had 2 fish that were both as big or one bigger than the day before.
They need a couple of good kickers if they want 15.43 pounds. Let's see what they're pulling up, folks.
The moment that always sticks out in my mind is when we held up those 2 big fish and listening to the crowd get excited, and that's what it's about. That makes it worth it right there.
Let's see what it is. There it is! Oh yeah! That's a good fish.
When you're in 8th place and you got 7 other boats to weigh in after you, there's a lot of mind games that happen. So when we sat on that stage for, I think it was about 45 minutes, and boat after boat going through, you know, you knock one guy off, you knock the next guy off, and your confidence starts to build, and it got pretty exciting at the end. It definitely wasn't over till that last fish was held up and they were thrown on the scales before we knew we had it, but it was exciting.
7.13 for day number 2. 7.13.
The video that was produced by Shaw, you'll see when they pull their last 2 fish out, you'll see my shoulders come down, and I relaxed and gave my partner a big hug because we knew right then and there that we had that Dryden Walleye Masters title we've been after for a while.
Walleye Masters champions 2014, Jay Samsel, Scott Dingwall. There's your champions, folks, right there. Let's hear it for them, Dryden.
And that's what it's all about, hoisting that trophy, as Samso and Dingwall did last year. Right now, they currently sit in the top 10 at 5th place. So a nice showing on a good day number 2. They just had a tough day number 1.
Yeah, if they could have had that weight yesterday, they'd be back in that boat parade today and contending for the championship again. It's a great team, good anglers. They put their time in. They know what they're doing out there. But it's hard to repeat in this tournament. You know, there's so many big fish out there. There's so many good anglers, and it's a difficult thing to repeat. That's for sure.
Some big fish caught not only yesterday but today, as we take a look at one of those big fish that was just weighed in about 3 minutes ago, and there you see it. Beauty, 6.83 pounds.
Nice fish.
And a total weight of 1310. That's what we're catching this weekend here on Wabigoon Chain of Lakes.
That should move that team up a little bit.
We were unable, we kind of caught it at the very end there. We didn't get that team's name, but they are up
get
there.
The number.
And we talked about the boat parade starting at 5 o'clock with those teams. Who can we expect to see here, Joe, in that final grouping?
Well, as far as the ones that are going to be in the boat parade, like the top 10
You betcha.
idea, yeah. Well, team number 92, Alex Finlinson and Ryan Holtz, they're sitting in first place from yesterday, and then Brad Smith and Rennie Below, they weighed in early yesterday. They came in with 18.21 fish. And then Chris Oakes and Robert Melanson, they're out of Red Lake. Keith Keller, Matt Keller, that's a local team from around here. So
those are some of those names in the mix as they will be in the final boat parade here in moments time. As another look, hey, there's O'Reilly, who right now is in the top position with his father. Will they be there at the end? Will their weight hold up? Will they be walking away with $25,000 in cash and prizes? An earlier look at Mr. Samso on a good 2 days. That does it for us. We're going to take a bit of a break and come back with the final hour, the big spectacle. It's the Dryden Walleye Masters on Shaw.